Hi, this is Jenny with ReStyle, and I am on here today to show you how to use Fusion Mineral Paint Stain and Finishing Oil as a top coat. So this is the project I'm working on today. It was stained and painted over 24 hours ago. Before you put a top coat on, we would recommend that you do wait until the paint is fully dried. You do not have to wait until it's fully cured. We have found that it's fine as long as it's been a few days to dry. It's fine to go ahead and put a top coat on it. I am choosing the Stain and Finishing Oil today as my top coat because I'm doing a darker color and I want it to look nice and even. Also because I want to be able to put another coat of protection on my stained parts as well, and I want to top coat the whole thing with the same product. So this top has been stained already with the Ebony Stain and Finishing Oil, and I love the color and I love the way it came out. But my wood was kind of dry, and so it soaked it in, and I want it to be just a bit shinier. So I am going to use the Stain and Finishing Oil in Natural, which is basically clear, in order to get this a little bit shinier and also top coat this middle section and get that a bit shinier as well. One really huge benefit to using a top coat is that dust and little particles of things that tend to stick to a surface, the shinier it is and the more you seal that surface, the easier it is to wipe off and keep clean. So I want to top coat this because I want a little more shine, but I want to maintain the color exactly as it is. The Stain and Finishing Oil works awesome as a top coat. It does not give that hard sort of glossy finish like a polyurethane would, like a tough coat would, but it gives a nice durable finish. It adds a little bit of shine, and I just really love the way that it looks when it's finished. So I'm using the Natural today because I don't want to change the color of this. The first thing that you do need to do whenever you are using the Stain and Finishing Oil is make sure that it is well mixed because it will separate a bit in the can. So just make sure you get all the way to the bottom, and if there's any kind of thicker spots in the bottom, you get it good and mixed together. So I'm going to mix that really good. Make sure it's good to go. You can apply this using any type of lint-free cloth or application pad. Fusion has these awesome application pads. These are fabulous when you are doing a tabletop or cabinets or something like that that's bigger. Today, because I just want to save product and I don't really need a whole application pad for this since it's a small project, I'm going to use a blue contractor's rag. These are great because you can throw them away, but also they are lint-free. So I'm going to use one of these to apply this product. One of the reasons I love this product is because when I open this, I do not get hit in the face with that really strong stain smell that you can get with other stains. I can smell it, but it's not going to give me a headache. It doesn't make me feel dizzy, nothing like that. It is a very low VOC product, which I love to use because I am sensitive to smell. So even in an enclosed space, this one does not bother me. So I'm going to dip my rag in there, and I am just going to start by just rubbing it on. I go in a circular motion first just because I like to make sure that it gets into all the grain. I'm even going to let this drip off a bit on here because this piece, like I said, the wood was quite dry, and so I want to use a liberal amount on this one. I want it to be good and coated, and it is just sucking this in still. But I basically just coat the whole thing first in whatever way I choose because it doesn't really matter. Get around my edges really good. Make sure I'm hitting all the spots. I'm going to go around all these edges. I'm going to make sure it's all got a good coat on there. The awesome thing about this product is that there's really it's really hard to mess it up. I'm going in a circular motion. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm not following any rules. I am just putting this on. And when it's done, it's going to look great. All right, I'm going to go around to all my edges. Make sure every spot is covered. And then I will go back and I will even it out. So I go back and forth, making sure that I'm going with the grain of the wood now, because I do want I want it to all look even, and I want it to all look like it's going the same direction as the wood when I am finished. I want to make sure that there are not any spots that have like kind of a built up spot of product. I want to make sure it's all nice and flat looking, nice and shiny looking. So I'm just going to make sure that that looks good all the way around. You want to watch for drips. You don't want anything to drip off the edges. So kind of wipe up any of that. And that top should be done. So I can now just let this dry as it is. All right, it looks beautiful. It looks nice and shiny. It will not dry quite this shiny, but if you want a shinier finish, you can keep applying layers of this, and every layer that you apply will add a little more protection and will add a level of shininess to it. So now I'm also going to do this middle part, because you can use this stain and finishing oil as a top coat right over Fusion Mineral paint. So this is painted in Midnight Blue. Like I said, the awesome thing about this natural stain and finishing oil is that it will not leave streaks. Again, the application is super easy on here. I basically am going to just kind of rub it on, get it into all the little spots, all the little areas. Rub it on there. You can see that it is obviously upping the shininess factor. Again, this will dry not quite as shiny as it looks while it's wet, but this is just the easiest thing to put on. So I'm going to just rub it on there. Again, there's no you don't have to go a certain direction at first when you're just trying to coat your surface. Once it all looks kind of wet and you feel like you kind of have it everywhere, then I am more particular and I go with the grain of the wood again. If you can see the grain of the wood. If you can't see the grain of the wood, then pretty much just pick a direction and stick with it. And I'm just going to wipe again to make sure that everything is going the same direction and that there's no spots that are thicker, there's no drips. All right, so that is the natural all-in-one stain and finishing oil as a top coat. I will let this dry. If I feel like I want it to be shinier, I'll add another coat. If I'm happy with it, I'm done. I don't have to put a varnish, nothing else over the top. Once it's cured, this is a wonderful, durable finish. I'll be able to set cups, plants, whatever on here, and it will stand, it will hold up, it'll be great. So the natural can go over any color that you want. It can go over the stain. If you want the stain to stay the same color, but you want that added shininess, you can do the natural over the stain. You can do it over any of the Fusion Mineral Paint colors. But what we have also found is that you can do the colored stains over colors that are similar to it. One of my favorite things to do is use the Ebony all-in-one stain and finishing oil over coal black. It makes it so rich and shiny and just gives it just a beautiful finish. So if you have painted something in coal black and you want it to be extra shiny, extra durable, have just that little bit of richness to it and not be so flat, you can do the Ebony over that. You can do the white stain and finishing oil over any white pieces that you have done. So this is lamp white, and I just did the top of this because I wanted the top of this to have some durability. It did not change the color at all. So the base is painted lamp white, and the top is lamp white with the stain and finishing oil, the white stain and finishing oil, over the top. It does not change the color, but it adds a little bit of shininess, again, a little bit of durability. You can also use the white stain and finishing oil over casement, picket fence. I have not yet done it over raw silk. It might be a little bit too white for raw silk, so I'll have to mess around with that and see. But you can use the cappuccino over chocolate. And you can actually use the ebony over ash as well. It does give it almost like a wood grain feel to it because you can see just a few streaks of like darker black running through the ash, but it makes it shinier and gives it a wood grain finish, which is really beautiful. So Fusion Mineral Paint's all-in-one stain and finishing oil is an awesome top coat. As you can see, it went on super easy. It's one of those things that's just kind of fuss-free and makes your project just have that next level of finish to it. So thanks for joining us today. Plan on doing some more videos in the future, so go ahead and subscribe and you'll get to see what's coming up next. I think my next one is going to be paint pouring.